Okay, I just want to quickly say that I don't hate any shows. I don't strongly dislike any shows. In fact, I don't dislike any shows at all. There are just certain shows that I have a problem with. And these are the three I'm about to mention. Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is Kate Laporte. I'm bored with a video for you today. Today's video, I don't upload enough to say today's video. In this video, I am going to be discussing some shows that I have a problem with. For those of you who may or may not know, because I don't know if I've ever brought this up before, I have a bit of a problem when it comes to Broadway musicals. And I don't mean I have a problem with them. I have a problem with obsessing over them so much because I am obsessed. One day I'm going to have to go and sit and just show you all my music albums and my playbills because I have a lot of them and I have a lot of funny stories to go with them. Of course I have to sort them through. Sort through them again. Okay, before I get off track any further than I already have, the first show I'm going to mention is School of Rock. Now, I don't have any actual problems with it. It's not that I dislike the cast, because I don't know the cast well enough to say I dislike them. Or it's that I dislike the music, because the music's actually pretty good from what I've heard. They've kept a lot of songs from the film, which is great. It's just, I think it was best as a film. School of Rock has made such a comeback in these past few years. It's insane. It's like the biggest, and there's going to be a lot of problems with this statement, but it is probably the biggest comeback or the biggest excitement that has been made since Frozen. You probably already know this, but I love Frozen. It's awesome. Okay. As I was saying, School of Rock, I personally believe, was best as a movie. Jack Black's, he's okay. That's not true. He's pretty freaking cool. But it's got a fun plot. It's got some really good original music, and Jack Black plays the character really, really well. He just pulls off those characters really, really well. Okay, for those of you who already know or don't know, before they made it a Broadway musical, which happened maybe like in the past year or two, they made a TV show of it. Let's just have a moment of silence for all the art that was once on television before they brought this show to air. Yeah. As you can probably tell, I have a serious issue with the Nickelodeon version of School of Rock. The characters are pretty similar, I guess, to the ones in the movie. I mean, they kind of got the characteristics now, and they have the same names, same roles within the band, but it's a bit too mainstream. They're using a lot of pop songs and a lot of songs that were just released recently. And there's a reason that has not been very successful. Because, quite honestly, it's shit. The TV show is just shit. There's no good from it. I mean, for one thing, they had Pete Wentz on it. I love Pete Wentz. Love Fall Out Boy. Love the music. Love the lyrics. I love how emo it makes me and how comfortable it makes me with being so emo, and I'm incredibly emo. That's probably not true anymore. But the problem I have with Pete Wentz being on the show is he's a bit too edgy to be on a kid's show. I don't think the topics he discusses in Fall Out Boy's music is really appropriate for a kid's show like that. One example would be that the most recent album, Mania, by Fall Out Boy, there's a lot of songs where Patrick Stump, the lead singer, is singing about doing drugs. He's not doing drugs in the lyrics, but he's talking about being on drugs. I'm not getting this right. Okay. Now, as I said before I get off track, again, problem I have with the Broadway musical I shouldn't be wording it like that. I don't have a problem with the Broadway musical for School of Rock. The music, it appears they've kept the same from the movie. We're gonna pretend the show never happened, although it's too disgusting to not remember. I wish I could forget it. It kind of confuses me a bit. It confuses me how they did not bring Jack Black back because, again, he plays the role really well. But overall, I just find the entire concept of School of Rock being on Broadway incredibly frightening. Like, it scares me a bit. Like, you know when you see that one thing and it's just like, oh, they're gonna do this huge thing with one of my favorite films. School of Rock isn't one of my favorite films, but it's very close up there. It's a really, really good movie. It's maybe within the top 20 or so. I really like movies. And then you see them doing something with it, and it's kind of weird. It kind of freaks you out a bit. It's like that. Okay, next musical. I've never felt so strongly about anything. That's not true. I speak strongly about everything. Okay, the next show I'm about to talk about is Cats. Before you go and freak out, I know there are going to be people freaking out. Everybody talks about how they dislike cats. And it's not that people dislike cats. Well, that's not entirely true. People do talk about that. But it's just... And I've talked to people about this. I've heard people talking about this. The main problem people have with the Broadway show Cats is it's not exciting enough. It's not exciting enough to be considered a Broadway musical. It's quite literally just about a bunch of cats that act like humans. But they don't act like humans. You get where I'm going with this? Probably not. This is not a comment that I've made. It's not my comment. But it's just something I've heard people say, and I agree with this. People have mentioned that Cats could be improved if they replaced all the actors, like all the human beings, with house cats. That's it. You just replace everything with house cats. Mr. Mistopheles, boom, house cat. He might as well be a Maine Coon. We don't know what he's been eating. Yeah, cats just isn't exciting enough. The last show I'm going to talk about before wrapping this up is Newsies. Before you go and say, well, why don't you like Newsies? I don't not like Newsies. I don't dislike it. I don't have any big issues with it. It just, quite frankly, isn't my thing. I can't get into it. The music isn't all that exciting for me. I can't get into the plot. It's not my kind of thing. I love the fact that it takes place during a certain time period. I don't particularly remember what time period it is, but I know what goes on in it. This sounds really stupid. But you know, it just, the time period, it's really interesting. And I like that they do a lot of tap dancing. That's cool. And the song King of New York, I like that they refer to a woman, to a female character, a female lead, as the King of New York. I might get this wrong, as I've gotten a lot wrong in this video. But that's pretty cool. That's empowerment, I think. I really don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's kind of what my big issue, which each show is. School of Rock scares the crap out of me. Cats makes me want to fall asleep and take a lot more than just a cat nap. And Newsies just, it's perplexing for me. It's puzzling. It's not something I can get into. Yes, it's rather fun. And I like the certain topics in it. But the entire show just, it's not for me. Okay? Now, some follow-up problems before I have to completely wrap this up is a lot of shows get a lot of hype. There are some very new ones that I happen to be very, very much into, but it's hard to get really into them when it's not, when people are always blowing it up. Hamilton, for instance. Great concept. Love Lin-Manuel Miranda. He's amazing. He's done a lot of great work. In the Heights, Bring It On, 21 Jump Street. But the problem with Hamilton is it's gotten a lot of hype over time. It's been around for maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 years now. And people are still saying, now, even it being 2018, oh, rapping Founding Fathers, who would have guessed? It's not all that shocking. It's kind of just how he writes, is his culture. Another problem show I have, which I shouldn't be saying because it's one of my all-time favorite shows, it's Dear Evan Hansen. It gets a lot of hype. It's mental illness. Wow. Ben Platt? Wow. No. Gonna just leave it at that. It's a whole new video. I'll see you guys later.